Welcome to Media Buying TV, the video series created to help advertisers and media buyers navigate the increasingly complex world of media. This is episode 4, Different Advertisers, Different Rates. I'm Neal Bell, and today we focus on how to secure the best rates for media inventory. A few years ago, I had the rare opportunity to do a detailed apples-to-apples comparison of the rates my agency secured for its clients with those secured by an in-house buyer for a home builder. The experience taught me a number of lessons that I think are worth sharing. First, a quick overview of the comparison. Of course, we have the home builder. The primary client from the agency that we compared to the home builder was an auto dealer. What we saw with that comparison is that both advertisers spent very similar amounts each year in radio, totaling hundreds of thousands each of them. Secondly, they both negotiated on an annual basis and had the same exact target demographic, adults 25-54. Lastly, they bought the same length ad units, 60 seconds. This comparison yielded 15 different station day-part combinations that were identical matches, spanning a total of 6 radio stations. After factoring in not just the average rates paid, but also how the builder was configuring their media schedules, it turns out they were paying 9.8% more for the rates secured by themselves versus if they had substituted the rates the agency had secured for its clients. And drilling deeper into the comparison, the key difference was really the price the home builder was paying for weekend ad inventory. They were paying between a 25 and 70% premium. They had a competent professional staff full-time for media buying. They supported that person with software and ratings data, yet they did not get the best rates. How could this be? There could hardly be a more apples-to-apples comparison, yet they paid a 10% premium. There are at least a couple of differences that I think were key in determining this outcome, and it had nothing to do with the competency of the buyer. The first is perspective. The in-house buyer only represented one client, while the auto dealer had an agency that represented numerous clients and therefore had a broader perspective. The second is that somehow it was communicated that weekends were really important to the home builder. It was either implicit or explicit, but the auto dealer looked at weekend inventory as a way to make their overall buy more cost efficient. I want to be clear, I'm not suggesting that I think all advertisers should get the same rate. But in this instance, where everything was so identical, you would think you'd get a similar outcome. So for those seeking to make the most of whatever their situation is, what should you focus on? The very first lesson, I think, is to keep your detailed priorities to yourself. It's fine if you want to share your general planning parameters with media salespeople, but I think this example shows that media outlets will charge more for that which they think is most important to you. Second, think in terms of leveraging time, information, and power. With regard to time, negotiate as far in advance of the start date of your schedule as possible. Latecomers typically pay premiums. With regard to information, the more you know about your customer and how they consume media, the better able you'll be to identify the most target-rich media tactics. Power can be a function of budget size, how much share of budget you offer a media outlet, or many combinations of how you leverage time and information. Lastly, I would just like to point out that successful advertising is about much more than just getting the lowest unit rate. Getting low rates means nothing if you're buying the wrong stuff. Future episodes of MBTV will address the questions of how to identify these target-rich media tactics. That's it for this episode of Media Buying TV. We hope you found it informative. Consider subscribing to this YouTube channel so that you can automatically receive notices when we post new episodes. Also, feel free to post questions in the comments section. We'd love to help clarify things further for your specific situation. Wishing you successful marketing of your product or service, this is Neal Bell for Media Buying Television, a production of White Rock Media.